How many times have you been told, just clear your hips on the way down? The thing about that topic is it's not explained well enough. So I see so many golfers ending up in a position that look like this, where their arms are stuck behind them, and from there, all they end up doing is casting and flipping, and it actually has the opposite effect. So if this sounds like you, then listen up, because in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to fix this to make sure that you clear the hips correctly so you can get that effortless distance and consistency. So it will look something along the lines of this. So let's use a Tour Pro example, because visually when you look at a swing, you really do see them clear those hips. But a lot of golfers go wrong because they don't understand the sequence and order that everything is happening in. So even though everything is happening quickly and they are technically clearing the hips, what's one thing you notice? Notice how in all these examples, they get their arms back in front of them. This is one of the biggest things that amateurs do wrong and Tour Pros do right. So let's start this off by explaining the correct sequence of the downswing. So let's think of the downswing as a 3-course meal. So the first thing we're going to eat is our starter. In this situation, the starter is a lateral shift to the lead side. So the first thing we do is we shift laterally to the lead side. Now technically this actually starts in the backswing, but we'll talk more about this in a second. The second thing is the main course. That is rotation. So once we've had our lateral phase, then we're going to go into the rotational phase. So we've had our starter, we've had our main course, now it's time for the dessert. What's the dessert? We've done our lateral, our rotation, our dessert is us pushing away from the ground. It's the vertical. Now during our 3-course dinner, we need something else. We need a drink, right? Well, the drink in this situation is going to be the arms. When do we want our drink? Well, we want our drink relatively early on in our meal. So we're going to say in this situation that we are going to get our drink halfway through our starter. So that therefore means that as we start to shift down, the arms pull in this lateral phase. That's when the arms are pulling. However, most golfers, they get their drink too late. They start to pull their arms too late. Most golfers, as they go to the top, they shift, they turn, and then their arms pull down after they've done a hell of a lot of their rotation. That's essentially getting your drink towards the end of your main course or even in your pudding. Doesn't make sense, right? If you want a nice beverage, you want it at the start to enjoy it with your meal. We don't want it at the end of the main course or even during the dessert. So think of it this way. It is a lateral movement in which time we start to get our arms down in front of us. Then we go into the main course, which is rotation, and then we go into the pudding, which is, or dessert, which is pushing up away from the ground. And the key thing we don't want to do is we don't want to start to rotate before we've had our drink, before we've started to pull the arms down. Otherwise we're stuck, and that's when things get very messy. So now that we understand the concept, now let's run through a couple of drills that are going to help us with this. So most golfers struggle by putting the burners on in terms of the rotation too early. So the exercise I'm going to get you to do is a shift board drill. So here is the shift board. Now I've used this in previous videos, and the reason for it is number one, it works amazingly. And number two is I want to keep my drills very consistent so that you can work on these things and you can see me talking about them in different meanings. In the last video, I might have been talking about generating more speed. In this video, I'm talking about fixing that Olay move by clearing the hips in the wrong order. So if I step on this board, you can see that if I stand here, I can click the board down by moving my feet. If I move my pressure in my feet, so I go pressure in the left leg, pressure in the right leg, you can see how my body moves. So what we want to do is we want to start with the left side down. To start the swing, we're going to start with a little pressure shift by clicking the right side down and taking it back. So we'll do it in one fluid motion, just like so. Now from there, here's the key. At left arm parallel in the backswing, we're going to start to feel like we can click that left side down. As we are clicking that left side down, we are not turning, we are shifting. Now, as I really feel like that left foot plants, that's when I'm going to start to pull the arms down with a hell of a lot of speed. So if I do that here, I'm not going to hit a shot. Start left side down, click the right, click the left, and you can see, look, I'm really pulling the arms, I'm giving them a head start so that then once that foot is fully planted, I'll start the rotation phase. So the key thing is we click it right as we take it back. As we finish the backswing, we click it left, and right as that foot touches the ground, we're going to start to pull the arms down before we really ramp up the rotation. So I wouldn't recommend necessarily hitting a ball doing this, but for the sake of today's video, I'm going to do it anyway. If you do hit a ball, tee it up so it's sort of the same height as your feet. And number two, go slow. So you can see I'm going to start with the left side down here. Then from there, it's going to go right, left, hit. And I felt like there, when I did that, when I had that little lateral shift, I had loads of space and time to pull my arms down to then where I started to rotate. Now, the second exercise I'm going to do is going to involve 2 alignment sticks. So we don't necessarily need a golf club to start this. What we're going to do is place the first alignment stick, which in this situation is going to be the red alignment stick, right outside of my left ankle. So push it into the ground, just like so. And if I take the second alignment stick, I'm going to place it about a foot behind my left heel. So as you can see, I've sort of created this little sort of box shape right here. Now, as I swing, I'm going to go to the top, and the first thing I'm going to feel like I do, which is going to be my lateral phase, is shift back to the left to close the gap up between my hip and this red alignment stick. Here, close the gap up. Once I feel like I get pretty close to that red alignment stick, I'm then going to push the left butt cheek back to the white alignment stick behind me to try and feel like I can close up the space. Now, if I do that with a golf club, you're going to see I'm going to go here to the top. As I close the space up with the red alignment stick and I'm shifting, my arms are going to be pulling down. They're now in front of me. Phenomenal. Now I'm going to push my left glute back to the white alignment stick to feel like I close the gap up here. So you can do some swings here. You can go to the top, you can shift, got my arms down in front of me here, and then push back to the white alignment stick. So it goes lateral, rotation. It then goes lateral, arms down, rotation. Then I go red alignment stick, white alignment stick. And you can see how this allows me to get my arms in front of me. I'm still clearing my hips. I'm still getting my belt buckle pointing towards the target. Then from there, once you've done that, I would take away the alignment sticks, or you can simply leave the white one behind you. And the reason I've gotten rid of the red alignment stick is sometimes it can get in the way. If you have something that only comes up to about sort of pocket high, then absolutely fine, leave it in there. But in this situation, I don't. And I'm going to leave the white alignment stick there because it allows me to feel that sensation of pushing the hip back to generate the rotation. So my key swing thoughts are, I'm going to shift early and pull the hands down. Once I've done that, my left butt cheek is going back to that alignment stick behind me. It won't get there, but it's a great swing thought. So shift arms down and then turn. We're not getting out of sequence in the downswing. And as you can see, when I do that there, I hit a beautiful golf shot. And you can see if I play it back in slow motion, I shifted, arms got down in front of me, and then I really cleared the hip by pushing my left glute back to that white alignment stick. So to summarize this video, the reason most golfers struggle with clearing the hips is they go to the top and they fire very early, leaving their hands behind them. The key is that as we are shifting, we need to get our arms down in front of us, and then you can fire your hips as fast and as quick as you want towards the target. It's just sequencing that arms pulling down, which is crucial. Let me hit one final shot with that same feeling. And there you have it, another nice 2 or 3 yard draw right there. I felt like I sequenced my body correctly, and from there, I'm gonna hit better shots. So there you have it. If you've enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and the channel a subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.